Welcome back to the After Dark podcast where we discuss topics that are none of our business. It's your boy Black Mike on the mic. We got Big Stir up top. You already know what it is. Make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the notification bell on YouTube so you never miss an After Dark podcast episode. Also, follow us and give us a 5-star comment on audio platforms. Whichever audio platform you may be listening to us on, we are on all of them. Okay, we are back. Another week of After Dark craziness, and the pod gods have blessed us with tremendous topics that we are absolutely going to go on. If you love good-ass tangents, this is a pod of tangents, maybe back and forth, and might be some disagreements in this one. Who knows? We don't know. But before we get into any of that, we got to start it off. We got to make sure everyone's mental is good, everyone's life is good. That's what's important. If we're not having good, positive lives out here, then we can't come over here and express good, positive attitude to our audiences. So, Sterling, are you living a good, positive life? Hopefully I segue that into, maybe that matches up perfectly with what you got going on. I'm not sure.
Nah, the life is positive, man. Everything's going in a decent direction. Life's all about ebbs and flows things you do, work, love life, friends, etc., so on and so forth. It's all about ebbs and flows, such as life. So I'm really blessed to be in the position that I'm in right now. As I've mentioned probably a million times at this point, I've been in some bad positions over the past year at some point, like short period of time, and blessed to even be able to continue to do these types of things and be in the position I am currently. But I was leading and segue. I was into this when I was talking to Mike prior to the pod, because we have to keep our low key shit on the low key. You know what I'm saying? But funny story. I was out for St. Patty's Day the other weekend, and St. Patty's Day, a bunch of people. I'm in Charlotte, so a bunch of people are out. I don't know exactly what it's like in other cities, but I know St. Patty's Day is huge. Excuse me. There's people bar crawling all day from 12 and stuff, so people are disgusting as fuck when you go out. But I didn't go out till later because I'm I ain't built for that. Let me drink for 12, 13 hours. I'm going to die. I'm just going to die. But I go to this one bar and pull up, and funny enough, dude, this girl that we without exposing myself, this girl that is from my hometown, saw me at the spot. We went to different schools, but she was like, "Oh, hey, I know you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, hey, I know you too." And the same chick, I low-key kind of had a tiny little crush on in high school. She just didn't know, but I never, I did. Remember back in the day on Twitter, you do the "to be honest."
Yeah.
Things. And look, if y'all know about that, you favorites. That's
before TBH.
Yeah, that was back when it was TBH, bro. Favorite. It wasn't a like at that point. It was a favorite. You favorite it. And I remember she said something to me, and I had a short conversation with her, and then that was it. And then from that day forward, I had a tiny little crush on the girl. But either way, she approached me and was like, blah blah blah, I know you. And she's standing with these two dudes, handsome ass black dudes, I ain't gonna lie, good looking guys. One guy looked like a literal, just a better, straighter teeth version of me. Not to say I'm ugly or nothing like that, but I was like, damn. And I'm thinking that's her boyfriend. We start chit chatting, and she's like, "Oh, let me make sure I got your Instagram." I'm like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure we follow each other, whatever." Because I've known you, I've known of you for so long, I guess. And I pull up Instagram, and she's like, "Let me type in my name really fast." She's on her phone. And she's we're looking kind of together on the phone. And she's like, "Oh yeah, let me type in your name really fast." Types in my name and clicks on my profile to make sure she's followed me. No follow back.
Oh, you followed her.
I'm following this girl for freaking probably over almost a decade, man. Almost a decade. And she has not been following me. And she was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "No, I'm the one that's embarrassed. Right?
Don't even try that shit. You're not the victim in this story.
I was so hurt, man. I was so hurt. I was sitting there, I was like, ain't no way this happened to me in broad daylight, in public, out like this, like, whatever.
Now you gotta unfollow her.
No.
Now that you got to follow back, you gotta unfollow her on some.
No, that's a late play, bro. Gotta give it like a month and like not the late play and unfollow, but late play and see what we can work with in like a month or so. But like, funny story. There's a lot more that me and Mike talked about privately, but life's been good. Aside from that, been working a lot, been drinking a lot more than I'd like to be honest. But I think it kind of comes with what I do, being the amount of stress that I'm under. So. I'm blessed, like I said, just to be in the position I am in. I am monitoring my health. I'm keeping more on top of my stuff, and then, hey, ladies, by the way, if y'all listen and are viewing and or I am single, just don't forget, like, hey, a brother loves some love. Like, I give love all you want, but I love some love. Like, I'm a little softy when you need me to be, but I could be I could be tough too. You know what I'm saying? With the light skin eyes, but how you doing?
Purple hearts out here. Dude. So I have a question for you. I actually have a question for the audience. Okay, so something happened right before this podcast episode, and maybe I'm just in the dark. Maybe I've never paid that much attention to dogs in that fucking way. And so maybe it's some shit that everyone knows. But this shit freaked me the fuck out, right? So as y'all know, as y'all saw when my puppy Bow Wow was a little small thing and he used to be in a corner over here, he is now grown up a little bit and a little bit too wild for me to try and let him chill in here while we do a pod. He had one bad go that one time, and ever since then he's never been in the studio again, right? But that's besides the point. So I hear a lot of ruckus coming in, right? So I'm still trying to finish work. I'm on the phone. I'm making some phone calls. I'm shooting out some emails at the end of the day, just trying to wrap everything up and kind of finish my day. And I had just let Bow Wow back inside, fed him his dinner. Cool, he's chilling. I hear some ruckus. I feel like he's just playing a game. Like he's probably just playing with his toys or something. He's just chilling. I'm like, oh, okay, like he's hyped up. Like, let me go over there and kind of fuck with him for a little bit and then finish out my day. So when I go back there, he's got this dog that like, it has a heartbeat and you warm up the sack and it kind of makes it feel all warm like it's a real dog, right?
I already know this shit.
So he was grabbing the dog and look, him having his way with the dog, straight P. Diddy and this dog, take that. That's nothing new. He's been doing that since I got him at 6 weeks old. I didn't even know that shits be kicking in at 6 weeks. That's nothing new. So when I saw him over there, I was like, oh, okay. He just getting his. I was like, all right. I'll let you get yours. Then this dude stood up and okay, I know about the Red Rocket. I've seen it poke out. I've seen it all this. And you know how it's like being taken care of. It's in this almost wrap. It's almost like, thing that they got. Well, when he stood up, this whole red ass dick with two balls, like red as fuck, looking like flesh, was just hanging and like out of the pocket sack, just drooped down, and I was thrown off guard. I was like, look at it, whoa! I was like, dog, are you okay? Like, are you hurting right now? He was walking kind of funny. It's like, you got a whole red-ass dick with two balls just drooping and hanging from your fucking, like, I ain't never seen anything like that before. So I'm like,
nah.
Googling, like, do I need to take him to the vet, like, to the emergency room? Like, is this okay? Did he, like, get overexcited? And I mean, once I, like, finished looking up and started reading and looked back at him, it was all the way enclosed again. He was chilling. But, like, my question is like, am I on the outskirts? Did you know that the whole fucking red, I'm talking two balls on the side, was hanging out? Does that happen? Or I've only seen the tip?
I mean, granted, I've never had a dog personally. I mean, I lived with a dog for a year with my senior roommate. Shout out Big Monty. We ain't talking about Michael's brother Monty. We talking about my boy Monty as well, or Chad as we know him. And nah, man, I've never. That's crazy. That's crazy. That would actually scare the fuck out of me, low key.
Bro, I did not know what to do. I called my friend. Nobody was picking up the phone. I was like, is this normal? Like, I need to be... Because I was freaking out. I was like, yo, I don't think... Like, it looked mad funny to me. I was like, I don't think that's right. And then once I finished Googling the shit, he was straight. He was acting normal, fully enclosed. And like what I was reading is apparently like sometimes it can get overextended out. I was like, hey, yo, and then like right afterwards he tried humping something else again. I was like, nah, bro. I was like, nah, you need to calm it down for the day. Let's take it back a notch. That shit was fucking crazy.
Oh man. No, I've never seen it personally myself. I guess I'm glad I've not seen it because I feel like it would actually creep me out. But nah, that's interesting for sure. Maybe he just got a lot of pent up aggression, man. He just like he needed to get something out, and he just got over aroused or overexcited or whatever, and he was like, "Let's get after it." I mean, because we all know as men, without getting too much detail, like sometimes we do be getting real excited, and we know the difference in how we work when we're real excited. That shit's going, you know. So maybe he was just in that zone, and I mean, he's a guy like all of us. So I mean, at the end, not all of us, but you know, some of us, and shit. I mean, God bless him. God bless him. I don't know if I had something like that, and they just extended out on me on like a, you know, those things you like clack together, like it's like little buttons, and it like extends it like one more, and then the next.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, "Whoa, this is weird for me too, dog." But I ain't never heard of that. That's funny as fuck, though.
No, that was.
I feel like it's always funny having a dog, especially like a dog like Bow Wow. He's like fun, like he likes to like play around and stuff. There's always something he gonna be doing, like where it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and it ain't like he's stupid or nothing. It's just he being a dog. Like that's it. Like he just being a dog. I mean, we all got a dog in us somewhere.
It's probably some normal shit. I remember the first time that like I ever got off on my own. And I remember freaking out, like, oh, what the fuck's happening? Like, I was like, do I tell somebody? I was like, do I need to tell somebody about this? But
imagine walking up to your mom being like, Mom, something came out. What?
Like, I'm bleeding, but I'm not, but it's not red. I'm like,
it's not even near red. It's the furthest away from red as you possibly can get. Like, yeah, can we call somebody? No, honey, that's just part of your body. I mean, before we get into like the topics, because like you said, we've been blessed with tremendous things in the news as of late in terms of the pop culture industry or the space. But if we're really thinking about it, just on a not a lighter note, but like I don't want to say it's serious either, just like on a note here, like I don't know how, like me personally, when I have kids, if I'm fortunate enough to have children. Especially if I have a son, like I don't know how you even normalize like masturbating or sorry, I shouldn't say that, but self gratification with your child. Like, how do you even like?
I'm not. I was perfectly fine figuring that out on my own and going through that. Now, sex and like when it involves another person, that's different. I'll engage in that. But like you doing your own thing, I don't really want to talk to my.
Hey man, when your son asks you, hey man, can you instead of this lotion, like can I make sure I get the Jergens? But like when he runs to that bottle of Jergens, he's like, hey, hold up, can you get me some oil? Like I just need to like put some on my I better make nah.
Yeah.
Nah, you
if you want to know the way you know. Only get them little quarter-size lotion bottles.
See how fast that shit goes. See how
if he needs a new one every few weeks, then you know this nigga on some bullshit. Like, hey, bro.
I mean, and by the time, we have children, life, I mean, all that stuff's going to be different, too. Like, the goats are going to be out of the play forever. Like, it's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be different without going too much into it because we don't want to make it about that. But it is kind of crazy because I don't know. If my kid came to me and said I thought I was bleeding or had to call somebody, because I kind of knew what was going on, but I was at the same time, like, I had a weird experience my first time, like, doing that, and I ain't going to talk about it because, like, it's weird.
I'm straight on that story. You know what? On that note, we will start the fucking show. Let's go ahead and get down to it. Because I think that for anyone who's still listening and has not been previously scared off from these last topics, guess what? Ring the alarm bells.
Ring the alarm.
And you know what's crazy too? Because Godzilla and King Kong dropped this week, and it kind of gives me the same feeling. We have the big three: Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. Not in that order. Definitely not in that order. No order particularly. But that is the big three, and they are coming out, and it is rap heaven right now. I think, like, this is the best. Let me just go ahead and lay this out here. In case you didn't know, Future and Metro Boomin dropped an album, which is essentially was a diss album to Drake, straight up and down. I don't know if you saw the.
I saw the comparison. It's insane.
It's crazy. It's strategic. I love it.
Track for track, bro. Track for track.
Track for track. A complete anti for all the dog albums, basically. We Don't Trust You, Metro Boomin, and Future dropped an album. But the topic of discussion, and we will break down the album too, for sure, don't get me wrong, but what everybody is talking about is the breakout single from the album, Like That. Yeah. Like That. Guess what? When you heard this song for the first time, because there's no feature list, they don't add the feature, you found out that K.dot was coming out the woodworks to be on the track and have a feature. And what did he do to take advantage of his few moments on that track? Well, he did it to let the big three know that it's just Big Me. It's just K.dot. He was sending shots at Drake and he was sending shots at J. Cole. And now we have a diss battle, ladies and gentlemen. We have a battle on the cusp. Will Drake and J. Cole enter the Battle Royale? We sure do hope so. But before we find any of that out, Sterling, what was your thoughts on the diss? Where do you sit? Who's going to come out on top? We're going to get to all of it, but I want to know, first off, what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, dude, like I was kind of telling you before the pod, I've been in this weird phase of, like, going to bed at, like, 10:30 basically on the dot, waking up at, like, 4:15 basically on the dot every morning. It's weird. Don't judge me. Don't matter. I get my shit done. It does not matter. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. So I woke up in that same cycle on Friday morning, knowing I still had to go to work, get there, at latest at by 8:30, and I typically get there relatively early. But either way, I was like, oh shit, the new album came out. So I was like, fuck, I might as well, like, start listening to this a little bit, and then I'll finish my sleep and then get up and shower and do what I got to do in the morning. But, yeah, I listened to it and I'm like, I had the same reaction as, like, now that I've listened to the album, I started watching reactions to it. And if you watch any reaction channel of guys and or girls, or they react to hip hop, like, and they're most of the time people of color and typically people that look like us. Bro, I made the same face that these people made, bro. I sat there and I'm literally, like, in an O face, like, oh, Kendrick, I didn't know you were here. We forgot. We ain't heard from you in a year. Mr. Morale, where you been? We've been begging for you to come back out of hibernation. Like, we thought you were in a whole nother world. And first bar comes off the rip. just off the rip, says these brothers talking out their necks. And if you know that there's like a reference to that in a sense of two different ways, right? So if y'all remember the song FDT, aka Fuck Donald Trump, when YG dropped it, there's a specific line he says before the song, it's like a prequel to the song, and he start talking about a prologue, and he says like, one morning I woke up and this nigga was talking out the side of his neck. It's a whole thing in the hood where it's like, bro, he's talking shit, he's chatting shit, whatever. That's a UK term, chatting shit. But like, he's saying some BS. Like, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. First bar, bro. And the beat goes crazy. The
beat's ridiculous.
The E40, like, mix of that E40 and then obviously Metro remastering it essentially. I was in awe. And he's just flowing. Just, it was bar after bar, taking a shot at Cole, taking a shot at Drake. He even took a shot at Big Sean because Big Sean dropped a single this past week as well, and he was just flat out dissing that nigga. He said, "Fuck you, bro. Like, you ain't even irrelevant. Like, fuck you." Like,
what's the Big Sean? I didn't even catch the Big Sean.
It was hold up. Something.
I mean, I know Kendrick has been ruining Big Sean's drops left and right. Big Sean came out the woodwork too, and nobody's talking about it.
He might have just said bump. I can't remember how the guy I was watching was breaking it down, but it's like there's like a little shot at Big Sean, but it's the emphatic. Like, if you guys listen to the verse specifically, like when he says that nigga boom, like you can tell Kendrick's pissed. Like, he's pissed off that they even consider him to be in the same company as him. Which is crazy because we haven't heard from you, Mr. Morale, in a year. Like, we haven't heard from you. We didn't even know if you were alive. Like, we didn't. I mean, I know you got a kid and everything, which I think is great. Be a good dad, do all the stuff you got to do. Like, I'm all about that. But, dog, your career is sitting on the line. Like, you got Drake and J. Cole going on a tour together. He's talking about all that stuff. I caught a lot of the bars on the front end because I was like, yo, oh shit, oh, okay. And he said, the best bar of this whole verse, I'll tell you right now. The best bar. What is it? I'm trying to find, I'm looking at the lyrics right now for the people. He said, it's right after he says, motherfucker, the big three nigga, it's just big me, nigga bum. What? I'm really like that. And your best work is a light pack. That was a shot at Big Sean. Because he was saying that, like, Big Sean just be dropping weak ass hits.
I thought it was a Drake shot.
It's like a combination of those two. I don't think he was hitting that Cole too hard on that. And then he says, "This is to me the hardest bar." He says,
"Oh, you about to call the wackest bar the hardest bar?" Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm not. I think it's hard because he's trying to say that he's a Prince guy, which I respect.
So he's saying he's worse.
No. He's saying because we all know Prince didn't outlive Mike Jack, right? Or did he actually? I'm trying to remember. No, Mike Jack died in 2010.
And Prince lived longer than Michael Jackson. Yes.
Yes. But either way, he's saying in the reference that he's Prince in this instance. And it doesn't have to be from a musical standpoint. He's like, Prince outlived Mike Jack. And then he follows with nigga. I think that shit's so hard. Nigga bum.
But what does that line even mean? That line's getting so much love, but like, how is that even like? I don't understand. Like, people are hyping that line.
He's giving. So he's like disrespectful.
He's not even. That doesn't even work in his favor. Like, he's dissing himself.
It's the sense of like, dude, like, brother, you ain't even gonna be on this earth as long as I am, and I'm gonna keep doing this shit as long as you are. And Prince and Mike Jack. There's nobody who's ever gonna be on the same level as Michael Jackson, period, as an artist ever. I don't believe it. I will never believe it. Right? We both can agree on that. Like, I don't care what anybody fucking said. And if Michael Jackson was alive in this day and age, we know for a damn fact.
He'd still be relevant.
Not even that. If the hype of his career was in our day and age, where the social media is the way it is, dog. I mean, you wouldn't even go on any social media app or anywhere without seeing Michael Jackson. That's how big he would be. So I think it's in the sense of like, Prince is like the guy, and I think he's saying that I can do this longer and do it more consistently. And not to say that Mike Jack couldn't have done it either, but obviously.
But let's just get it off of the Prince and Mike Jack. So let's think about this line.
I love the way that he corresponded with it. I get it. I liked it, and I think it was like almost like I'm taking you off this throne that you put yourself on, because yes, we have obviously crowned Michael Jackson as the king of pop, because he is the king of pop. There's nobody's going to debate that. But it's in the sense of also in the layman's terms of like, if you know anything about Michael Jackson, all the rumors that were about him, how it basically his reputation got completely diminished by those rumors. Whereas Prince wasn't in that same way where his reputation was completely diminished.
But my point is not even the whole Prince and Michael Jackson thing. My point is him referencing that he's Prince in this scenario and Drake is Michael Jackson. My thing is Drake's Michael Jackson comparison holds up a whole lot more weight than Kendrick's Prince comparison. For starters, he's saying he's going to outlive him, like he's going to keep being out here making music consistently. You're not even doing it while y'all are both alive. Where the fuck have you been? How are you going to be out here making consistent hits when you're not doing that now? You run away for 5 years and come back and bring us an album. I want to ask you this a question, Sterling. If we really sat here and let's say Drake wanted to play Kendrick's drop game, what kind of projects do you think we get from Drake if we only heard from him every 4 years? Do you think that we would get substantially like a greater amount of quality from his albums? Do you think we would get more like Take Care, If You're Reading This Is Too Late type albums? Nothing Was the Same if he got 4 years to sit on material.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, because I still would, and I'm not saying, I've never said that Kendrick's better than Drake. I will never say that. But I believe, based on your question, like, obviously we would get better quality, maybe, and we probably get even higher quantity too, which quantity and quality are kind of somewhat go hand in hand in the music industry, specifically in hip hop, because the more you drop, the more relevant you stay. The less you drop, the less relevant you are. Because Kendrick, in a sense, has lost relevance. We didn't forget about him because he's still Kendrick. He's an amazing artist in itself. Nobody's ever going to say he's not an amazing artist. But like when you have the lack of quantity, like someone like Drake, and even lack some of the quality in some senses, because just be honest, I mean, unfortunately, Mr. Morale, that whole album, that whole shit was.
Here Today, Gone Tomorrow. That was forgotten about. But
yeah,
the reason why I brought that up though is because, for me personally, I think Kendrick takes the easy way out. I think that his style of drop is the easy way out. And he's trying to like make this comparison as if he makes these deep albums, which I do think he does make like more like artsy albums that kind of have more, substance, more backbone to it, right? I agree with that. But he also goes on 4 to 5 year hiatuses and tries to find himself and drops these albums. Drake's getting us an album every year to every other year, consistently since way back in high school when I was rapping his lines. He's been out here still dropping music, and guess what? He's still at the top of the game, still one of the hottest features to grab and bringing people up at this game. So from my standpoint, personally, if we were going to rank them today as rappers, right? Not artists, but rappers. Right now, if they were going into, let's say this was like a March Madness, J. Cole would be number 1, Drake would be number 2, and Kendrick would be 3. And Kendrick's only 3 because by default, we're putting him in the big 3. If you want me to be honest with you, if Kendrick comes back out, now he's got to earn the top 3. He's not in the top 3 right now. We know what he's capable of and what he's going to do when he goes out there. So by respect, we go ahead and throw him in there.
Well, I think it's a credit to Kendrick, though, as well, because you got to remember, like, we were in high school. I think it was the summer we were going to college. It might have been the summer before. I can't remember exactly. When back-to-back dropped and the whole Meek Mill Drake drama was going on. And I mean, Drake took Meek Mill's career in his hand and literally Thanos smashed that shit. He snapped Infinity Stone, fucking gone, brother. Sorry,
Gone.
that shit's done.
If it wasn't for Drake, we wouldn't be making these Meek Mill Diddy jokes right now.
No, I mean, like he literally took that man's career in his hands and crushed it. Like it's an insane thing to even be able to say in one song, bro. He didn't have to do it. Like, he did it in, like, he had other multiple disses, but the one song that basically went crazy, I don't know if it necessarily went number one, but crazy hits, crazy bars, ripping at him about him and Nicki, and now we know that nigga gay. And
it's just throwing that out. We don't know that, but
nah, he's gay. Nothing wrong with being gay.
Okay, we don't want to cease and desist over here.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Allegedly.
Allegedly he is of the homosexual side of things.
So but throwing it up in chat.
But the end of the day is that we understand, like, it takes balls to come at Drake now. Like, because after he did that, and even with Pusha and anybody, bro, like, he just comes and he just ruins you, bro. Like, anything that you have, like, I mean, that's some Illuminati shit. Let's not get in that right now. But
does it really take balls? Like, let's get this. Drake's been sending shots at Kendrick for years. What does Kendrick do? Kendrick's smart. He didn't just throw this on no verse. Like, he knew, like, what was coming. He's smart. He's strategic, and he's methodical, right? Kendrick drops this diss, and okay, he doesn't have full control of when the diss drops. It is not his record. It's a Metro Boomin Future record owned by Epic. I think it's owned by Epic, so they control the drop.
I don't know.
Right, I'm pretty sure it's owned by Epic. But Kendrick drops this verse, right? One is just a jab. He didn't really, like, the verse is good, but like he didn't really give it out there, which is smart. You just gotta jab. Make them take the bait, and then I guarantee you right now, we haven't heard from Kendrick since Mr. Morale and Big Steppers. I guarantee you, he's got material written up, ready to go for these niggas to respond to. And he gave them his diss, and Drake is on tour. J. Cole I think he just finished tour with Drake right now, right? Like Lil Wayne took his spot now. Yeah. So J. Cole just finished tour. He's got Dreamville Fest coming up, right? A lot on their plate. So now we're saying it takes balls for him to come out here. But one, this was not premeditated, or I guess it somewhat was from first person shooter mode. But he comes out and he drops this verse. One is not a diss track. It's a diss verse that he featured on. So you can't come on me and tell, if you're going to really big step, give me a whole fucking track. Give me a hook. Give me two verses. One verse for J. Cole, one verse for Drake. And if you're really feeling spicy, throw a bridge on that motherfucker so it's catchy. You know what I'm saying? And give them a whole track. You have to, if you get a whole track, you got to respond in the next week. Right now, Drake and J. Cole have so much going on. I'm not guaranteed that we're going to get a response super quick, right? Like, I do think both of them will respond eventually. They got to.
I'm scared to hear what J. Cole says, because that nigga is scary, bro.
J. Cole right now is rapping better than anybody on the planet. And everyone's talking about Drake and Kendrick, but J. Cole right now has to be licking his chops, bro. He has to be so excited because this is the only entry, and let me know what you think. I personally think this is the only entry J. Cole has to having a claim at that number one spot in the rap game. Like, no one's ever going to give that to him. Drake and Kendrick are clearly better than him. He had no opportunity. I don't care how good the fall off is. It wasn't going to change any minds. But if we have a three-way battle at diss track and J. Cole's able to come out on top of that, now he's got a real claim. And it leads into his album. The rollout's going to be crazy, and the fallout is fucking fire. And he won the diss track. Like, now we have a conversation. And as long as there's a conversation, J. Cole wanted that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things where it comes to, when it comes to rapping, like Mike said, we're going to talk about the album Promise. But this is obviously the biggest topic and biggest thing about the album at the moment.
This is the album.
Yeah, I mean this. It's like it's hard because I have a lot of respect for all three of them because they're obviously lyrically gifted and have the ability to transcend sound and the way they move words around and et cetera, so on and so forth, right? And make hits and stuff like that. They all do it in different ways, as we know. Drake's a little bit more poppy. Kendrick's more like 90s rap style. J. Cole's like that, like I'm that 2000s, like going in the tens, but he kind of got his own style where it's kind of hard to emulate.
He's got backpack rap.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, I'm scared as fuck of what Drake's going to come out because if he come out, he might kill. Like, Drake's already said he put niggas in body bags. And Kendrick's, the thing that scared me, bro, that scared me when I was really thinking, like, Kendrick really saying he's got shooters, like, legit shooters, which I don't doubt. Like, I don't doubt he got shooters. Bro, Drake is from the most well-off of the three of them, right? Like, you see where Drake grew up compared to, first off, if y'all don't know anything about Vietnam or Fayetteville, that place is somewhere y'all don't want to go, especially where J. Cole grew up. And then Kendrick from Compton. Like, bro, don't fuck with those things. He said, this nigga Kendrick said, or this brother, this is like the triple entendre that you can like, I mean, if you really, I'm not going to try to explain it because it's just fucking extra, but he says in terms of like as in for all your dogs. So when you're on the golf course, if you hit a ball array or a stray, you call four. So somebody like picks their head up and makes sure they're like looking out for it, basically. Like he says, for all your dogs getting buried. Of course, we know exactly where that's coming at, right? Yeah. I mean, coming straight at for all the dogs. That's a Drake shot. That's a K with all these nines. I don't want to explain all the time.
Fucking dogs.
K9, but it's a K as in kill, nines as in I'm gonna murder you. He gonna see a pet cemetery like the movie, where all them motherfuckers are dead and it's a haunted motherfucking place. Nigga bomb. He's called. First off, I can't agree with him calling that nigga a bum, aka Drake. I can't say he's a bum. That's something I can't agree with, but I can't. Like I said, that's when I got scared because I'm like, dude, he's talking about real shit. Like, I don't care who you got, bro. I got niggas that will shoot, and I'll shoot if I got to. Like
Kendrick ain't shooting nobody, bro. Also, bro, like, yeah, I get it. Kendrick calls himself the boogeyman. He's branded himself as the boogeyman pretty well. But honestly, bro, I don't know about you, but I think I'd be scared with Drake's team, bro. Like, Kendrick might have goons. He might be from Compton, but Drake is mob tied.
Yeah,
Drake, you don't see Drake's people. Drake's people don't get seen. Lights just go out. It's just black in this bitch. It's just one day, boom, gone. Just like that. Like, you just imagine this, right? You walking down the street, you think you're having a good day. Oh, I just dissed that nigga fucking Drake today, blah, blah, blah. I'm chilling. Ask X, he knows. And he just walking, just having a good day. Boom. Car kind of moving kind of slow. Like, oh, that's kind of odd. Pulls up, window drop down. Oh, shit. Ow, done. Life just over, just like that. Oh, shit. It's just over, bro.
It's literally like if y'all remember from the Mad City, is it that song where it's a song on that same album. I can't remember the name of the album off the very top of my head, and I don't want to misquote. Good Kids, Bad Some. I think it's something like that. But he basically there's a song where he's like, "Oh shit, fuck." Oh, and it's like get up K.dot, and it's like basically they're jumping and or ending someone, and it's like a verb, like a sound bite of it, And like what you're saying there is like exactly what it would be like because it's like it happens that quickly, and especially if you're not expecting it, bro. Like I will say that's the thing is scary about Drake. I think we've talked about it before. It's like people like yo, they're like yo, I've hung out with Drake. Like Drake has got like he got shooters, bro. Like that dude is not joking when he says he got shooters. Like he's real as hell when he says that. I wouldn't fuck with Drake. I don't give a fuck who I am. I'll be honest. Like I don't care about my pride. See, that's the problem. Remember what killed Caesar? Pride, bro. Pride killed Caesar.
Yeah.
Got stabbed in the back, bro. Because at one point, all these dudes were somewhat cool. All three of them, at some point, were somewhat cool. Bruh, you turn your back on a demon gonna stab you right in the back, bro. It's a fact. If you turn your back on a demon, he gonna stab you in the back and he gonna keep it fucking moving like nothing happened. And ain't nobody gonna know and or care. Because it's that way. You can make someone deter your entire reputation, which Drake has done, as I referred to earlier, or alluded to earlier. That's the wrong guy, bro. That's the wrong guy. Like, really. See, J. Cole will come at you with the bars. And, yes, J. Cole got shooters if he needed them. But, like, he ain't like that. He's, like, one of them, like, hippie type of guys, sort of, kind of. But, like, he got a Bob Marley type vibe. But Bob Marley, don't get it twisted. Bob Marley did some fucked up shit, too. Don't think he didn't, bro. God rest his soul. But Drake is about his bread, bro. He's about everything in his image. His image is what makes him him. Like, you ain't about to say nothing and he can be like, all right, bet, like, whatever. Like, you threw shots directly at him. These are the most direct shots you're going to get on a rap song without the nigga saying your name. Like, facts. It's a fact.
And, like, a lot of people are going to probably say I'm caping for Drake, but honestly, I am out here. I'm on this platform. I'm caping for Drake because y'all Kendrick niggas, y'all be talking too spicy. And every Kendrick nigga has always had it out for Drake, bro. No person that like loves Kendrick likes Drake. Think about it. Chad, like his favorite rapper is Kendrick, hates Drake. Every Kendrick nigga hates Drake. But I'm telling you right now, man, like all I gotta say is one, out of the three, only one of them's battle tested on multiple occasions, and that's Drake. Drake murdered Meek Mill in his. He beat Common, Stay Scheming, which is one of the best verses growing up. Drake's verse will Stay Scheming, makes that whole song. That's a Common diss over Serena Williams. And he had his battle with Pusha T. Now, technically, he lost that battle because Pusha T revealed some stuff about him. But if we're ranking like the songs that dropped, Pusha T's versus Duppy Freestyle was absolutely fucking crazy and a great diss track and was by far the better track, but Pusha T revealed all that. So where I think Drake's had an advantage is everything about Drake is on the forefront. There ain't nothing you can make fun of him about. Like all of Kendrick, and what you notice about Kendrick's verse, he didn't have anything. There were no like shots at him. He basically just said, "I'm better than you," but there's no shots at him. The ghostwriter thing, he's lived there, done that. We realized that he's used ghostwriters on some tracks, but he's also ghost wrote some of your favorite artist tracks and has created some of the best verses. He doesn't like when you're that big. There's gonna be other writers in the room. That's how that shit works, bro. Second. We know that he's out here, he's got fingernail polish, he's doing like the gay shit. Like people have been calling him out thinking that he might be a little flamboyant. That's already out there on the table. The kid already out there on the table. Drake's exposed. You can't take no shots at him. He's exposed unless there's like some real dirt on him that I don't know about.
If
which would be crazy.
On him now, bro, that would be insane.
But we don't know anything about Kendrick. So the difference here, and I want to credit, I think it was the New Roaring Mall podcast. The difference here about that is Drake doesn't even have to come that crazy on a diss for Kendrick to feel it.
Whoa, pause.
Pause. No Diddy. That's the new thing, right? No Diddy.
No Diddy, man.
Yeah, so Drake, he doesn't have to do anything crazy. Like, if he can reveal any slight thing about Kendrick that kind of alters our image of him, it would be mind blowing because we don't know anything about him. So, and Kendrick, there's nothing you can expose Drake on. So you really just have to. I really think it comes down to who's going to make the best track. Like, everything in combination, lyrics, hook, catchiness, is going to be who's making the best track. And when I think about who's going to make the best track, I have to give it to Drake because I think he can reach heights that neither one of them could ever think of reaching when it comes to dropping just like an A1 track. And that's what I'm going with. But I do think that, you know, Kendrick raps on a level that needs to be dissected. You can't just listen to it. But I think that hinders him in this conversation. And I think J. Cole is probably the kind of like in between on the two middle of them. Like, he's able to kind of rap like Kendrick, but it's also easily digestible like Drake, which kind of gives him an advantage too. But
yeah, I mean, it's tough.
There's a lot to it, but we can talk about this album. Future will give you some love here. We'll speak on the album. It did drop. There was more to it, and obviously Future had his dig at Drake too. I don't want to dig into that. We just went through a whole beef battle. We're just going to speak on the music, right? I'm going to tell you a few songs that I'm really vibing with. Kind of want to hear what some songs you're vibing with, which maybe what kind of stood out to you that you didn't like. For me, personally, I thought it was a good album. Obviously, the beef got a lot of hype, which it's going to do. When you name it, We Don't Trust You, and you do all the funny things, like obviously the beef will take over. But there's some good highlights on this.
The beef will take over.
Yeah. There's just some classic Future tracks on this. I don't think they did anything crazy. They weren't trying to break the mold or like change any sound up. They're just giving you like the best of Future and the best of Metro Boomin. And we also have another album coming in a couple weeks, so they could. Who knows what they do on that next one? But
I don't know. They might go ballistic.
I'm really fucking with GTA. That song is fucking hard as hell. Crash. Cinderella's crazy with Travis Scott. Like, that shit is fucking beautiful, bro. I love that song. Obviously, Like That's good. Everyday Hustle with Rick Ross. That track is phenomenal. That beat leading into it, then the beat change. They should have let Rose hit that beat change. That's crazy. I'm fucking with Running Out of Time. That's a cool, like, slow track. I vibe with me some slow tracks. But yeah, that was pretty good. I also kind of like, fuck it, I kind of like Fried. She a vibe. I'm fried. I'm fucked up cause little shawty, she a vibe. Yo, that shit kind of catchy.
I could not get with it, bro. I mean, personally.
Just let it play over and over again.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it a ton because I've been listening back to the Kendrick track a lot. Because like I said, the beat on it, the E40 remastered beat is just insane. I mean, yeah, those are some good shouts. I mean, obviously, like we said, like That is sick. I really like Magic Don Juan, Princess Diana. Oh my gosh, bro. That, I don't know why it goes so hard, bro, but it just goes so hard. And then obviously got to shout out The Weeknd for his 25 seconds on We Don't Trust You on the intro. And he just basically just like humming.
It's hard as fuck though.
Yeah, but it was like melodic as hell. And I'm like, really obviously a big fan. I like Running Out of Time, but at the same time I don't. I don't know, it's weird. I like sometimes I listen to it, I heard it, and I'm like, then I'm like, oh, this is a vibe. And then what is it? What's the track, bro? What's the fucking track? Is it Slimed In? No, I don't want to say that one because that sounds basic too. Because it's got Young Thug on it. Shout out Young Thug, Free Thug.
You trying not to sound basic?
Claustrophobic. I don't know. It shouldn't be a vibe because it's really not even like that. But it's like I bought a mention because I'm claustrophobic. He just like it's like, bro, we get it, dog. Future, we get it, dog. Like, you got money. Like we I can't buy one fucking mansion, nigga. Like chill out. Like let me think I got cool shit.
I haven't latched on to type shit as much as everyone else did. Like,
I don't know, type shit kind of like that's one of the ones you keep listening to. You're like, damn.
Yeah, I feel like I know it's gonna like I'm gonna get it eventually. It just hasn't really stuck yet for me yet.
That's some never type shit. He said Cardi says a song or a part where he's like, hold up, I got you. I'm a lyrics demon, bro. I love a good set of lyrics. And they got a music video for the shit. It's Travis, Future, Metro, obviously, and Playboy. And this nigga says, excuse me, guys. Playboy goes and says, and you know I'm a Travis Scott stan, so I had to. This nigga Playboy, the whole time, he basically talking about him fucking and like girls just fucking and sucking him. Like that's legitimately, she gripping all of my balls. I gotta move type shit. Like, and then he said something. He said, "Bitch, give me dome in the back. She on her bobblehead type shit." And then the best line, he says, "All I want is ass and titties. I ain't got no type shit." And I was like, that's facts. I ain't got no type, bro. I don't care what color you are, bro. Hey, ass and titties, I will work with it. You know what I'm saying? I'll figure it out. And I think if you continue to listen to it, it's like you said, I guess it's the same thing. You got to keep listening to it. You listen to it enough. Like, I actually played that song back. I get in these like headspaces where I just listen to songs like multiple times to see if I really like them. And like that was one of the songs that I listened to on the train today and walking into work. So I'm like walking into a corporate ass job, like banging like, yeah, I'm type shit. Yeah, bitch get me dumb in the back. She on her bobblehead type shit. Like, bro, with women in my office, just like, yeah. Oh, this goes hard, and it's like, damn, I really am. That's bad. But overall, I think that like obviously the standout track is like that. We just had a whole probably 20-minute segment about that. Really, really impressed with Future coming out. This, like you said, I think it's like the old school Future. I loved it. I've been wanting some good Future again, man. It's been hard to find it because he'd be popping on some tracks. I'm like, like not really his style. But when you get Metro and Future together, like, because this whole thing was obviously a diss at Drake and for all the dogs directly, but then, obviously Kendrick had his shot at J. Cole and shit, because that whole side of the shit don't fuck with Drake or J. Cole, because apparently Future and fucking Drake were supposed to make another What a Time to Be Alive 2, which would have been crazy, but fuck these niggas. They got too much pride and too much money, so they don't give a fuck. I'm pissed. And that shit might not ever happen again. And that's one of the biggest things that like Future's trying to get at a bit. And I'm like, I don't know. I want to know, aside from Like That, because I think Like That's my favorite song because of the beat, just simply because of the beat, not even just because of the bars, but the beat. I want to know best and worst song on the album off the TOP here, Mike. What you got aside from Like That being one of your best, like the best song for you?
Second favorite song on the album is GTA. That song, that beat too, boom, 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 and that bass hit. GTA, I got shooters. Crash out, crashing. When I'm driving and listening to that song, like, that made me want to crash. It made me want to like be like that boat on the bridge and shit, and just fucking just turn my shit, and just go straight for something, just crash out. Crashing. But GTA goes hard. That's my favorite one. As far as worst song, I mean, I didn't really think there were like terrible songs on this album. I'm probably just gonna go with the one I listen to the least. Like, I probably don't ever listen to Where My Twin At, so I'll probably just throw that one as my worst song.
Funny enough, I hate when people say like, "What up, twin?" And I think that's the first thing I said to you, and I hopped on the fucking call. I said, "What up, twin?" But no, I mean that's a good shout. I think aside from Like That, my favorite song I want to say is Magic Don Juan, bro, Princess Diana. I don't know, and there's like the part where it goes like something like Princess Diana shit, blah blah blah, and like she's like doing. I'm like, damn, and he's like, those Princess Diana diamonds ain't cheap. I'm like, yeah, they ain't, because he's throwing these diamonds and shit. Them shit's expensive.
Do you see Drake had Princess Diana on his screen at one of his performances not too long ago? Like right afterwards, like he threw Princess Diana in the background.
I didn't even peep. Bro. I gotta say more. I don't even look at my phone some days, but I just be like, all right, I'm all for it. And then I guess like my worst. I don't want to hate on you, but it's my least listened to song. I think. I want to say, no, I won't say Fried. I'll probably say Seen It All because it's like it's not bad, but it's like it doesn't compare to some of the other songs on the album, and I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite, really. It just wasn't my favorite. Because I like most every other track, literally like almost every other track on this album that I've listened to enough. Like, there's probably 10 of the songs on the album that I listened to pretty like consistently, being that it just came out. But then in terms of least listened to, probably Seen It All. Because honestly, this shit, I won't call it a masterpiece because we haven't seen masterpieces in a while, bro. Like, if I was doing this when What a Time to Be Alive came out, I probably still wouldn't have the same opinion on What a Time to Be Alive. I probably wouldn't have been in college anymore and had that same type of memory and nostalgia to it. But I would have called What a Time to Be Alive. I'll call What a Time to Be Alive now a masterpiece. Like, I'll call it now a masterpiece because that shit was a masterpiece. I don't think there's one bad song on that album, legitimately. And if I'm going to go ahead and rate it, because we got to throw a rating at it. Tough, man, because I can't remember any of my ratings from the other one. So this is good. So I'm going to be honest. It's not going to be like biased towards like obviously Trav and his album. Because I love Utopia. Fuck, I love Utopia, bro. I still listen to shit on that album today. Actually, I listen to My Eyes like every time I hear it on TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. You're like, look at my eyes. I like, oh, it goes so fucking hard. And then obviously For All the Dogs was fire too. Damn, what would I rate this album? Fuck. So I'm thinking about how would I look at a ting if I saw For All the Dogs, Utopia, and We Don't Trust You in front of me. Sex Appeal gotta be, for all the dogs, right? Like that's gonna be the shits. And then it's like, damn, like Knowledge, Intelligence. I'm like, I'm fucking with Utopia, I'm like, damn, like she got that brain on her, you know what I'm saying? But like in terms of a combination, I think like, damn, like We Don't Trust You was a little bit analytical and like also has a little bit of that appeal that you kind of want, like just for
edge to it.
Got some edge to it. It's like, oh,
she the fun girl, she the party girl.
Yeah, she a party. She a good time. She a good time, but she also know how to settle down when she needs to. She'll make you a nice meal if you need watching Netflix with you and shit.
That's what you got.
I'm going 8.2. 8.2.
I'm gonna give it an 8.4. 8.
Okay.
There's a lot of songs that I go back to instead of just like me only playing the same two. So for me, that's a good sign for an album. Obviously, when we do these ratings, it's very early when we do them. So these are off initial reactions. But I have this high. I think I have it higher than For All the Dogs and Utopia for me.
I think I definitely put Utopia at like almost a 9 if I remember.
I can't remember what I put for Utopia. Maybe I had Utopia better because my initial listen of Utopia was just an absolute crazy experience. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
It was an experience in itself. So yeah. And I also think that what kind of messed it up too is We Don't Trust You is the only album that, like you, I didn't start from start to finish on my first listen approach to it.
Yeah. I purposely skipped to
so I robbed We Don't Trust You of the experience. And I also knew of Kendrick before going into that. So I can only imagine, like, if you stayed up and you just listened to it top to bottom, that initial reaction, Yeah.
No,
It
that's why I
definitely
told
deserves
you,
to be
bro.
up there with the two. I got it high. 8.4 for sure.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, like I told you, like I didn't even know about the Kendrick track being on there because I woke up at that time in the morning. It had just came out like an hour, two, or a few hours before. So it's like I didn't even open TikTok or nothing. I was like, oh shit, let me listen to this real quick, and I'm like, oh shit, like oh fuck, like this is what's going on right now. Like kind of crazy, but and I just want to say I got all the love in the world for Travis, but he a hoe. Travis a hoe. Travis Scott is a hoe. He playing both sides of the fence. He said, Drake, when you want to hop on the track, yeah, but hey, hold up, Future, play that da-na-na-na shit.
It's over for him now. Like, Drake petty as hell. He ain't hopping on no more tracks.
He is petty as fuck, bro.
He ain't hopping on no more tracks, bro.
Bro, and Trav, you and Drake have one of the greatest songs of the 2010s, in my opinion, in hip-hop in sicko mode. Like, it just did a fucking phenomenal
it's
track.
Travis' biggest song by far of his career. Drake can probably look at all of them and be like, oh, what's your biggest song? Oh, yeah, that one time I pulled up in the studio, right? Oh, what's your biggest song? Oh, yeah, that one time I sent my flash drive to your studio, right? Hey, Kendrick, you remember you? Oh, yeah, I put you on that one track and blew your career up, right? Yeah, that's right. Oh, The Weeknd, you remember when, oh, yeah, you were my little protege, I brought you up, that's cool, that's crazy, all right, yeah.
Nah, everybody got to find their own ways. Yeah, it's hard when somebody's standing on the throne with fucking 4 feet.
Hey, everybody wants the throne. The only way to get the throne is if the dude's not going to step down, you got to fucking slice his neck and make him drop down.
Slice him up. Yeah. And hey, speaking of the throne, for the people that are fans of Game of Thrones and House of Dragons announced they were going to drop the new season here in June. We're fucking pumped. I'm fucking stoked.
I'm extremely stoked.
I'm fucking stoked. We are definitely going to be chatting about that shit.
Week after week, every single week we're talking about
100%. And I know I'm going to probably be watching it with my roommate in the time that we're still roommates because it'll be over the new season, or the season will be done. I'll have to have been moved by then. But for at least the first few episodes, be watching my roommate, getting some instant reactions to that shit. So shout out House of Dragons. Shout out fucking HBO, but App Max. And super excited to see that come out. But on a even more serious note, in terms of hip hop, one of the hip hop legends of all fucking time, P. Diddy. So so I want to ask the audience, for them, especially the ones that are listening, not watching this, because they're watching. You know, you can see our mannerisms and whatnot. For the folks that are watching or listening right now, I want you to think of what you thought of the connotation of P. Diddy when you heard it before all the shit came out about P. Diddy versus now. I want you to take a moment, like a moment of silence, about 5 seconds, just. Yeah. I know for a damn fact.
And for the woke niggas, not shit changed.
Yeah. Facts. The woke niggas are like, we knew this shit. We've been telling you this shit for years. I'm like, nah, nigga, shut up. Shut up. But let's roll into it because as of yesterday, this nigga P. Diddy had both his Florida and California residences raided. Police raided. This ain't no raided like I'm raiding for fucking bugs. Like, raided. And there is a video of P. Diddy outside of the airport pacing like he just lost his wife or something. There's a lot more details, and I don't even know all the details. I know Mike's probably got a little bit more than I do, but I've heard a decent bit. A lot of speculation, not only speculation, but a lot of thoughts going around about Diddy and kind of who the fuck he is, bro. Like, nobody knows this nigga. Like, they feel like they don't know him because he's on this demon shit, even though they all knew it. They just had a surprise. To the general public, something new to us who aren't the woke niggas. Shout out woke niggas. Y'all were right. Y'all can take your W this time. It's fine. Like, we get it. You did too much research and you've been sweating in your mom's basement for 20 years. But that being said, Mike, I want to get your instant reaction, just kind of like what's been going on, like the stories, everything's been coming out about him, the comparisons, like you mentioned, to the Meek Mill situation, like everything, bro. Like, because it's fucking getting weird, bro. And I hate it to be niggas, bro, right? Like, it gotta be niggas. It gotta be niggas that do this shit. Why can't it just be some regular ass white niggas that does it?
Oh, well, I mean, there's definitely some regular ass white niggas doing it, but the niggas they're the pawns. If shit hit the fan, all right, one of you niggas, y'all gotta go and take the fall for this, right?
Yep.
My initial thought was very simple when I saw everything come out. It's over. It's so far over for Diddy. It's absolutely crazy. Because, you know, one thing I watched was the academics breakdown when he brought in Myron from Fresh and Fit, which, if you don't know, he was deep in that. That's his space. FBI. I'm not positive exactly what rank or what position he held, but he was in that before he started Fresh and Fit, right? So he was breaking down and kind of gave a whole like input onto what's going down just based off of his knowledge previously. And what he told us was Homeland Security doing this kind of raid on 3 different mansions in 3 different states concurrently at the same time means that they had to get a warrant, and that warrant must have, probable cause and almost 99% effective rate of you're going to find the evidence that you're looking for in these homes. Not only that, for it to take place in 3 states, they needed probable cause recently from each state. So they couldn't just say, we have probable cause that, I don't know what's in the house. Whatever they're looking for in the house is either in the house in Miami, the house in New York, or the house in California. So we need to raid both of them. That can't go down. They need to say, oh, we know that there is A in this house in California. We know that there is B in this house in New York. And we also know that there is C in this house in Miami. So we need search warrants. We need to take this to the judge. You need to approve this. We have recent probable cause to search and raid all of them all at once. And what we know about Homeland Security is they have a 97% conviction rate. So there's no indictments at the moment. Nobody's getting charged. Nobody was arrested. They were detained and held while the search was going on. P. Diddy's sons, that is, right? But what we know is they got something. And they got a lot. And what Myron brought up too that makes a lot of sense is this couldn't happen without informants. They have people rapping, telling everything right now. And this is deep, man. This is deep. If you think this is a P. Diddy thing, you are sadly mistaken. There's so many footprints that go in here. I mean, Prince Harry was mentioned in his recent lawsuit allegation notes. There's just so many people, and who God knows what they were looking for, but they said he is being linked to sex trafficking, and we might get our first FRICO. Our first FRICO in the hip-hop space. That is a RICO of freaky shit. In case you did not know, our very first FRICO is about to go down. But it's absolutely over for P. Diddy. He stepped down from Revolt. He has no ties with Revolt, no ties with Ciroc. So essentially, I don't even know where that was his Ciroc and Revolt is primarily his net worth. So right now, I don't know where new income flows in. Now, he's still fine. He still has, his ownership, and he pulled that out. He has that in liquid cash now, or however he's holding that. But it's not growing. And
it's actually in children, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so, those were my initial thoughts and kind of some of the breakdown, kind of lay it down so everyone's on the same page. Sterling, what did you kind of think? I know based off of what you said before, and I know you heard rumblings, but, you weren't really a tinfoil hat guy, so you didn't really look into it. So this is probably kind of crazy to you.
No, I mean, obviously, you don't ever want to see a brother go down. Just respectfully, it's just what it is. It's a black thing, specifically in black men. You never will see a brother go down, but when you do dumb shit and you're a freak, like you're just a freak motherfucker, like shit gonna catch up to you at one point, and sometimes it's just a little too late to catch it, like to cover all your bases. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see that weird video where P. Diddy adopted that little white girl? I think her name was Taylor.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That just did not sit right at all. Like,
nah, man, it's like, there's been this whole thing about sex trafficking specifically over the past 2 or so years. Specifically, it's been really big in the Republican Party. Not to make it political at all, but it's been a real big push on the right side of politics. But it's been a push in general, like because if you know anything about trafficking, trafficking's been going on since the dawn of time. Like people are being moved in all types of ways, like slave trafficking. You've obviously got child traffic. Like it's all types of trafficking from different countries, states, counties. It could be cities, whatever. It could be freaking next door for all we know. And the fact that someone as powerful in the game, really in the world, because he's one of the most successful black men that ever lived, at least black African American men, I should say, in the world, in terms of monetary success, to be so involved. And as you mentioned, this is much deeper than just P. Diddy. Like, there's been this whole the whole theory behind like the elites. There's people even above P. Diddy that we always reference as like people we don't even know exist type of thing. Like that are quadrillionaires type of like freaky money, run like everything. There's probably like 10 people just sitting there chilling, like vibing, like, oh yeah, Diddy just got caught for this. All right. Like, let's go and get him replaced with somebody else. And I'm like in this headspace now where it's kind of like, what are we going to see come out in this case? Because if the government does their full due diligence, if they find what they were supposed to find, and I'm a very high assumption based on what you were saying, Myron was saying, that they found what they needed in all 3 states, in all 3 houses, which is scary as fuck, by the way, that they were able to even do that. There could be some very large names, or maybe not large names, come down. It could be a compromise from Diddy where he's like, look, I'm taking the fall. I'll do whatever. Just got to keep it under wraps type of thing. And I'll just tell you everything, just depending on who's kind of hanging over his head, because it's like a manager at your job, man. You report to your manager. Your manager, anything you do, your manager is accountable for, but in reality, you're the one that's going to get let go before your manager is. That's how it works. And they'll replace you with somebody else. And it's the same way with... Say what?
No, go ahead, finish.
Nah, it's just one of those things where now I'm thinking, who's going to take Diddy's place in this whatever system that they got in place to do all this stuff? Because we've already heard about the Epstein Island stuff that we still don't know everything about, which is, that shit's already crazy. Then a few years later, we get Diddy in this shit. Then I guarantee you another couple years later, it's going to be somebody super notable as well.
Well, P. Diddy's just going to be the fall guy at this point, right? And there's always going to be somebody.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to have to be the fall guy, because if he's not the fall guy, whatever community or organization that has built this, because you have to be an organization to pull these types of things off at the way that you do, in the slyness that you do. There's no possible way you could do it alone. And I will 100% stand on it.
Well, and you have to have high up backing to go around this long and not have this. There's an infrastructure in place. This is not a rash thing someone did. This is, like you said, it's organized. There's a process to it.
It's organized crime, dude. It's literally organized crime. It's mobsters. Mobsters in a completely different way.
Did you see 50 Cent's post?
No, I didn't.
50 Cent posted 9 hours ago on his Instagram. Right after that drop, he posted a picture of a milk carton that has a missing picture, and it's Jay-Z on the side with the caption, "Anybody seen Jay? LOL." Puff said the nigga ain't answering his phone. LOL. Then he does another picture of Jay-Z when he said, "Here's Jay-Z last reported seen waving at Puffy Jet. LOL." Like, so 50 Cent could be alluding. He's alluding that Jay-Z is somewhat involved in this mixture. Now, is he involved as in he's a partner in what P. Diddy partook in? Is he involved in the sense that, Jay-Z gave him up, to keep things up? Who knows in what regard he's alluding to, but he's alluding to, hey, this extends to Jay-Z. He's basically telling us, like, this is some deep shit, and the next few years, while all this is getting unraveled and we start going through the process, it's going to be a generational moment in time for, the culture itself, because it's definitely going to, and it's unfortunate because it's going to hit the culture in a very ugly way too, because these are our top guys. Well, for me, I never held P. Diddy in that regard. I've always believed the stories that I was told about P. Diddy, so I always just kind of like respected him as a business mogul and what he's achieved in his life and whatnot, and known like how important he is to the culture and the music of the culture. But I've always just kind of been like, that's P. Diddy. We'll leave him to be P. Diddy. But Jay-Z,
Diddy.
But Jay-Z in this, man, that gets ugly. Because now you're tarnishing Jay-Z. That ultimately tarnishes Beyonce, because there ain't no way she don't know what's going on. She's been there the whole time. So she knows
Epstein
something.
Island, baby.
Like,
Epstein Island.
Everybody's
was just the tip of the iceberg, man. That's literally what I thought. I remember when the whole Epstein thing like got broken out, and then people started talking about more and more. I was like, this is just the tip. Like, this is just the tip. Like, hey, honey, it's just the tip. You got to relax. Like, you got a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to take a little bit more. But, and ladies, if you listen to that, don't take it the wrong way. It's a joke. But that being said, I'm so against any type of trafficking, period. I mean, I can't say I'm against drug trafficking, but inherently that goes with human trafficking. But either way, when it comes to the trafficking of people and real people, not a product. And children. Like, I don't mess with that. Like, I don't mess with that at all. I couldn't even imagine having a child and losing them to something as serious as child, trafficking. For some sick, twisted shit. Not just for like, oh, we're just taking them away. Nah, they're doing sick, twisted shit, and I hate it. And it scars these kids for the rest of their life. They can't even live normally. They like grow up and they're awful. Like, not even by their own default.
Well, these kids don't go back home. Yeah,
they never go back home, bro. They never go back home. Hey, got this girl when she was 8. She's 18 now. Chalked. You can literally put her out in the day-to-day, and there's stories of people that have come back from the stuff after like a decade or two of being in this shit, bro. And you won't even believe the shit they say because they seem like they're fucking crazy because they don't even know how to like communicate this shit. Like they don't even know how to communicate, bro. You ruin people's lives for your own pleasure. And look, look. Fuck, I have to like walk back on this because it sucks. Because I hate doing this. Mike and I always preach like we ain't gonna hate on anybody. Where they get their money, bro. We don't hate on no hustle, bro. But when it comes to this stuff, I gotta hate on it because that's just completely unethical. Like, look, I do fucking sales, dude. Don't lie to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I say some shit that ain't not necessarily not true, but I understand what misleading can be. Like, I understand how to change the brain to think a certain way about something, to engage on emotion and use it. Like, but it ain't ultimately, it's not going to kill people that I'm doing, right? It's not going to ruin somebody's life. I mean, I guess it could, but I mean, not ruin everything about them and their sanity. But man, I don't know. And I'm really scared because you might start seeing a lot of fucking moguls in the industry if Diddy doesn't take the fall the way he's supposed to, which I think the way that it's designed that he's supposed to just take the fall and just chalk it up, it's going to be the messiest shit you're probably ever going to see. Legitimately ever going to see. Probably until they drop the whole JFK stuff and we actually figure out what happened with that in terms of a national crisis. Like, it will be probably the biggest thing that happens in the 2000s up to this point, aside from 9/11. Yeah. God bless those people's souls. Literally, it's that crazy. And I don't know, man. I hate to say that I'm excited to hear about it, which sounds so bad, but like, I'm excited to hear about it because I want to know more. Now I'm intrigued. You got me captured. I gotta know more because I'm gonna figure out. I want to figure out who's involved. What's this? How long has it been going?
How does this even take place? Like how do you start this? And it's all in Hollywood. I don't know if you watched Quiet on Set yet, but like that was crazy too. Like it's just everywhere over there. Is it the whole industry? How is everyone like just robotically going through the motions if that's the whole industry?
Well, they showed it like in the weekend show that was on HBO was not good. Let's just be frank. It was not good. It was one of the worst shows I think I've ever watched in my entire life. That I expected to be a lot better because all the money that the weekend has and all the connections, etc. But with that girl that played the main character in the show, you started seeing how dark, and the weekend said he made the show to show how dark Hollywood actually is. Like,
and that's dark. even that's watered down.
Yeah, he watered it down, and it's fucking explicit, dude. Like, it is explicit. Like, it's quid pro quo at its finest, bro. Like, anything you want to do, you're gonna have to do something for it. It ain't gonna be pretty. Like, it ain't gonna be, oh, this was so fun after the fact. You will be fucked up to some degree. You may not show it, but it's gonna come out in some other point in your life. And when it comes to that stuff in terms of infrastructure, you mentioned that earlier. You probably watch movies where there's dirty cops, dirty all this. Government goes in like all the conspiracy like movies where like, oh, the government, like vice president already knew about all this, da da da. Like, if you watch Night Agent, I think that's the show where it's like it's a whole government conspiracy. Like niggas, like everybody knows in the government except for the president what the hell is going on. They're all involved with some fucked up stuff. Like, so you think about it like when it's just a show like a narco show where it just goes into with the cops. But if you realize in Narcos, because Narcos is drug trafficking, we're talking about drug trafficking in the 80s. 80s doesn't have the technology that we have today, right? Not even close. Not even fucking close. Like, it seems like it's literally decades, 40 years. But in the show, if you guys haven't watched it, in both versions of the show, Narcos and Narcos Mexico, it starts with like getting local police on your side, right? You get local police on your side, you put them on a tiny bit of a payroll, you give them a little extra cash because they're underpaid, and you know this as a boss. Then it goes up to like your chief, and the chief is supposed to be the most honorable, integral guy in the station. He starts getting paid off. Then it goes up to the chief of like all police within the city or county or whatever. Then it goes up another step. It's like director of this. Then it's like, oh shit, we got the government involved, and it's starting to spread like wildfire because they're all getting paid out because we're making more money so we can afford to do this. So it's like, how deep do these things stretch? And which is why like I love politics, but I speak about it with my family and my parents and stuff, and like we do love debating on it because we all have different views in a way, but we're all similar at the same time. Like, there's a reason that people don't like talking about politics because politics at the end of the day is dirty. And politics, unfortunately, in this world, if you don't have a shitload of money, it's the way you get places. Like, it's just what it is, bro. And when you talk about this type of stuff, I can swear on everything I love, my mother, my little sister, my dad, everything, that I would never do something like this for money. I promise you I would, on everything I love. And for the folks out there that are down bad, you ain't never down bad till you gotta do some dumb shit like this, bro. Like, you ain't down bad till you feel like you absolutely have no other choice. Don't do it, bro. But scary to think about, like, the people we elect into office could be involved with this shit too.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I think it like when I was talking to my dad about it, I was like, there's just so much that goes over our head. Like this is so much bigger than me and you or anyone listening to us. Like we couldn't even comprehend the intricacies that go down to how this thing runs and operates, who's in charge, the process of putting new people in place, how are they retrieving, like there's just so much that's going on, and it's kind of crazy because all those crazy ass people that we used to talk bad about with these conspiracies back in the day, man, every single day they're looking smarter and smarter and smarter. They're like the Bitcoin people back in 2010. Like they're reaping all those benefits of shouting to the rooftops right now, and everything is coming crashing down. And it's kind of crazy to me because now anytime I read those conspiracies, like it don't even like really phase me. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I can see that happening. Like now I'm like, and it kind of makes you look like you're wondering, well, is the whole country operated on conspiracies? Like, are they really that strategic and that involved in every aspect of what's going on? Like, to where every single thing has some form of conspiracy to it. Like, they're conspiring to get some kind of agenda.
Interlinked, bro. Cells interlinked. Yeah, I mean, like, bro, it's all fucking everything. And I sound like a fucking head case saying that. Like, it's all connected. Like, everything is connected. Every little part psychologically, because there's a science to psychology. If the folks didn't know, like there's a science to why you bought that purse when you know you barely had the money to do it, but they did exactly what they needed to do to get you to believe that this was a good purchase for you. Bro, we've all been there. That's from the simplest, that's from like the layman term space. Like, Mike, I'm sure you bought things before where you're like, and you're extremely frugal. I always give that to you. But still, there's been moments in your life where you probably bought something, you're like, shit, why the hell did I buy that? Like, yeah, I like it, but like, damn, was it really worth that much cash or this, that, and the other? The type of
and that realization comes quicker than you think.
Yep, it comes fast as I remember our friend told us a thing about buying, like, it was like a house, and it was like after the first week of buying a house, it feels like, what the fuck? Like, I don't remember if you remember that it was on a Wednesday Friends, and Hannah was talking about it one time, and she was like, yeah, like that gratification, there's like a study that gratification literally goes away in like a week. A week. Yeah. Imagine that. It's just like your own honeymoon phase. We could break it down in a million layman's terms, to be honest with you. Like, a million. But the simplest part of it is that if hypothetically, everything that we do is basically controlled based off of a psychological thing. That is a science because it has been studied more. I think it's probably the most studied science in the human psychology. Is probably and it should be if it's not the most studied science in the world. Even though it really should be like chemistry, so we can fucking get rid of cancer and shit. But like, knowing how to manipulate and use whatever it is to get what you need, regardless if it's in a short period of time or a long period of time, is a skill, bro. You develop that shit. You're in sales. I'm in sales. You don't just come out the womb being a salesman. You can be a better salesman than the other guy off the rip, 100%, bro. Like 100%. You could come out the womb. I could have been a better salesman than you out the womb just naturally if we went out and sold without any training, just off the rip. But it's a learned skill, bro. Like, you have to learn it, and then when you master it, that's when you start getting intricate and getting smart and figuring out, like, how can I shortcut this without really thinking I'm cutting corners. I'm still doing what I need to do to get to my point faster. Instead of taking 6 months to sell this guy, it took me 2 months because I did this, that, and the other. It's fucking scary, dude. It's actually insane. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I don't even know what to think.
Look, at the end of the day, as much as I don't like seeing our black leaders fall, I love seeing trafficking pedos fall that much more. So, I mean, if they are involved, if everything is true, I will not lose any sleep over what happens to P. Diddy and whoever else comes out that is involved, because every single person should reap every consequence of whatever that's being partaken. But I'm not throwing anything on anyone's jacket. on this pod, what we do, we discuss topics that are none of our business. So I'm keeping it out of it. We're just discussing. We're not the
bystanders.
We're not the news. We're having a conversation. You guys are just a fly on the wall on our conversation, right? And we smack it. So I don't know about you. I'm good on that topic. You got anything else you need to say on that?
All I gotta say is some words of wisdom from your boy Sterling. I may only be 26. My man Mike may only be 26. You'll be 27 soon. Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir.
Coming real quick. New Year's, it's already getting warm again. You're like, oh shit, brother, it's on the way. And next thing you know, they can start looking at you like my ex-girlfriend's little brother used to say, I was 25, and he was like, you pushing 30. I'm like, nigga, I'm 25. Like, I just turned 25. But some words of wisdom for folks out there, and I realize this every day because I work my fucking ass off. If anybody knows me, especially in my current role, they know I work my ass off, and I don't doubt that the people out there are working their ass off. But I'm gonna tell you right the fuck now, bro. Come here, listen to me real quick. Listen to me real quick. Listen to what I'm saying. If you fucking want something, if it's in the job you're in, if it's a dream you want, if it's whatever it is, bro, don't make one fucking excuse. Not one. Don't allow yourself to have an excuse. And also, be fucking hard on yourself. You can be negative to yourself. You can bounce back, bro. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you shouldn't be negative. Fuck them niggas, bro. Those are the type of niggas that think everything's all cool all the time, bro. This shit is not sweet. This shit ain't never been sweet. Like Mike and I can sit here and say, yeah, we blessed childhoods. I sit here right here, hand up, man. Blessed ass childhood. I'm blessed to have the parents I had. I'm blessed to still have my parents. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes to the shit that you want right now as adults, for the people that are listening, and even if you're not an adult and somehow found this podcast, God bless your soul, because you are getting exposed to shit that you probably should have waited on. Bro, don't allow yourself to make a fucking excuse. If you want to lose fucking weight, go in the gym right now. Don't even buy your membership and drive to your gym right the fuck now. I guarantee you, if you start now, it won't be any better. There's no other time like the present. And work your ass off, bro. You know how many fucking times on a day-to-day basis I see lazy-ass motherfuckers, and then they make an excuse like why they're not getting the results they want? Because you're fucking lazy, bro. You're fucking lazy. I'm lazy as fuck when it comes to my day-to-day life, but I don't make a fucking excuse about it. I already know it's my fault. Take the fucking blame. Take some fucking accountability. Don't be a pussy. I'm sorry. This is good. Look, if this ever got even near monetization, we getting fucked on it because it ain't getting there. The first word's been going out of hand. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you want something, bro, go get it. Go get it. Your parents didn't make it in this life by not having to take a chance on themselves and believe in themselves and making excuses. You make excuses, and I'll say something my dad always said to me, I'll leave you with this. Excuses are tools of the incompetent, a.k.a. ignorant motherfuckers. That's how my dad was saying it when I was a kid. Now I understand it because he'll say that shit now. Excuses are for ignorant-ass motherfuckers who don't know shit and don't want to know shit. And also, wanted to shout you guys out. We didn't shout you out. We usually shout you out every pod. Thank you for the people that have been listening, man. We've been seeing you. We've been hearing you. I want to see more of you guys commenting. Like the video. Subscribe. We want to do as much as we possibly can, man, because Mike and I do really love this. Yes, we take weeks off because we got lives too, man. It's hard. It is hard.
And if there's no content, we're not going to come here and
we're not
give you lackluster content.
Yeah, and we ain't gonna blast our own ass personal lives up here either, bro. You ain't gonna get that from me until I'm a famous motherfucker. And then y'all can then I'll start blaring my personal life, but it ain't gonna matter. But I appreciate all you guys, man. It's been a blessing. I'm so glad that Mike and even Chad before, he kind of started doing his own thing, which Chad's still one of our boys. Don't think that Chad's not our boy. He's one of our best.
No. This is not one of your typical pod breakup type relationships.
No.
He's still part of the three black guys.
Yes, and so God bless you all. And like I said, don't make fucking excuses and continue to keep watching, keep listening. And we really do love all of y'all. Mike, you go ahead and close it out, my man.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and close it out. Thank you for listening. This was episode
43, I think.
43? 40, okay, episode 43. Well,
43.
For the fellas out here listening, listen, man. Like Sterling said, there's no excuses, man. Keep grinding. Keep working. Because they only want a 1% nigga out here in the streets. So like I always tell you, you gotta quit your bitching and get your bread up. By any means necessary, except for the means that we spoke about previously. Don't do that. That's not one, because look, he might be 1% down, but he's going to fall all the way back down, and that is a absolute long fall that you don't want to be a part of, right? So we get our 1% the right way. And for the ladies out there listening, listen, ladies, it's summertime, and I usually say he don't want you, but you know what happens around summertime? Y'all don't want us. It's hot girl summer. We know what time it is. The booty shorts coming out, the legs showing, the sundresses. That's all about to start. Y'all about to be feeling yourself. You're going to get rid of that little nigga that you've been cuddling up with during the winter and getting some warmth. Yeah, you about to leave him and you about to be on some wild people shit because you know you're beautiful and you know you're powerful and you know that we'll always love you. Because it is the After Dark podcast. Until next time.